It was on mute. Erica said start over.
Oh.
Here we go, Erica. Thank you, Erica.
All right, you guys, welcome to the Happy Basins Jungle Room. Thank you, Erica, for always correcting our not pressing the microphone to get started. Thank you guys for still being here with us. So what we're doing down here, not just down here, but all over the house, starting on Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, is we're going to start doing room tours here at Happy Basins. And today I'm going to take you briefly through the entire Happy Basins jungle room down here. And then we're going to go upstairs to our little living room zoo where we're going to look over everything. And then we'll start each and every Thursday coming through and taking a closer look at each little thing that we talk about today. So today's a brief overview and a look into the things that you're going to see more detail on from now on Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Happy Basins YouTube. All right, so I want to show you guys something super exciting that happened here in the Happy Basins Jungle Room this morning. It all happened very fast, so we didn't get to do a live of it. But Ron Rundo had a little extra time and came over this morning with some drawings that he had done and ideas that he had talked about when we talked about the baby's memorial, ISIS's baby's memorial. So I just want to start off right now by showing you guys this wet paint that is on our mural right now. So come on over here. And you guys can look right up here. And what you're seeing here is, this is Peo. So Ron Rundo added little baby Peo right above Isis. And when Allison Surf painted this painting of Isis, she did actually, we took a really nice photo of Isis's face and printed it out. And Allison really captured her colors. You can see the turquoise in there and just did such a beautiful job. And then if you guys can look a little higher up here, there you go. You can see those are the two baby ghost snakes. So if you guys saw on the memorial, the initial memorial video for the ISIS's babies, we talked about each of these little details. And there are the two little spirit babies that were not developed inside of Isis when she had her babies. And then right over here, you guys can see these are the 6 little babies that were well developed but stillborn. So Ron Rundo and Allison Surf decided that these babies were going to be moving their way into the forest. And the baby in the front here is the baby that actually was not born stillborn, but born alive and just didn't make it for very long. So this is a beautiful memorial that is in progress here of our beautiful little Isis babies. All right, you guys, how is the picture? I'm concerned that as Larry moves around with the camera that we might get a little blurry. So let us know how that goes. And love, if you see any comments that I can respond to, let me know.
Okay, everybody's saying hello, Erica, BW.
Hello, Danita. DW is Danita, and Lady Z is Dana. And I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing your names correctly, but that's phonetically how I'm reading it.
Erica says so far so good.
Yay! All right, so you guys, we see this is just one piece of the art. And we're gonna come back on one day and just talk about the art in this jungle room, because there is so much personalized art from our Ron Rundo 6-foot snakescape, which he says is the largest piece he's ever delivered. So that's really exciting to us. Our mural by Allison Surf, and now with Ron Rundo additions. And then I have all kinds of other art. You guys are gonna love the story of this piece of art. Some of you may have heard it on some of the other podcasts that I've been on. About this piece right here done by Sunsugar Benzi Holler, who is my daughter. And then I'm not going to show you guys everything, but it's hard not to. This is a piece done by one of our local artists here in Hot Springs. So I'll be looking forward to talking more about that and about which animal this is. Also, just since we're showing off the art and not talking about the art details, I have these beautiful pieces. This is a piece by Michelle Maddox. You guys, I can't wait to tell you all the details about what this is and how it came about. So that's going to be exciting. I do have another Michelle Maddox piece somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. And you guys, sometimes these pieces startle us. We'll think that a snake got out. And I mean, almost everybody who comes into our jungle room thinks that these are real. This one especially, the first one that I showed you. But golly, you guys, look at this. Do you see that this is 2 emeralds on this piece of wood? So I can't wait to show you that. More art that we have here in the jungle room. Oh, and if you guys are wondering what this curtain is, I'm going to show you guys Peo, but he's behind here. And so we just keep this curtain up to, keep him from seeing movement. Can you get these 3 pictures over here? These are actual photographs. And a lot of you guys have seen my shirt. I wear a shirt with this emerald on it. And when we do our art Thursday room tours, I'll be telling you guys all about that art. And then if you could quickly just show them the art over on the other wall, it's the same animal. And I do have a lot of pictures of him, and you'll be finding out why. And then if you can bring them over here to the left. Here's another piece of art done by Sun Sugar Benzi Holler, who is my daughter. And that is a magnificent piece I can't wait to tell you guys about. And I know we have more art here in the jungle room, and we also have fan art that we'll get to show off. So the day we do our 1-hour art show off, you guys will get to hear the stories behind each piece of art in this room. And I'm sure there's more that I didn't think about right now. Okay, so let's look at a brief look at our enclosures. I know Erica and others are probably sitting there thinking, right now, the only thing I want to see is Peo. So why don't you go ahead and take them behind the curtain and show Peo, because I know everybody wants to see him. You guys, Peo has not eaten, and that's okay. We're still less than 20 days away from Peo's shed. And I have one friend who tries to feed his babies 10 days after the first shed. If they don't eat on that 10 days, he does not offer them food again for another 10 days. So that's 20 days after the shed, and we're at 15 days after his first shed. So we are not terribly concerned. And if it comes down to it, Larry has had a full lesson and all of the tools and products that he needs to put 2 cc's of nutrition into the baby's body if he does not eat in a time that that would make us worry. And we don't know what that is right now. I'm thinking like Monday. I'm thinking like a week ago. So I'm gonna let the fellas decide on that, since I do, of course, who wouldn't worry? So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's have a look at our plants. We'll just start over here, and then we'll go around kind of in a clockwise motion. These are our jungle room plants, and there are all different kinds of plants in here. I choose plants that do well when I have them. Sometimes I get some plants and they don't thrive in here. I don't force them. I just keep reproducing the plants that are working well in here, and they do reproduce. This right here is my prize plant. I'm not even going to turn him around because he's getting so big. I have new leaves on him. And this is my my Monstera variegated elbow. Those 3 words may go in a different order, but he's doing really good, and it's a hard plant to work with, so super proud of that one. And then all of these plants, especially along the front close to the window, all of those plants are just clippings off plants from the inside of the enclosures. So sometimes the enclosures will look bare because I'm taking things and chopping it out because they grow pretty fast. So all of these plants are inside of this pond. So if you guys can see this big pond right here, and it is actually on a table with wheels. And Larry cut the table out to match the shape of the pond and put casters and everything down there to make it easy. So it doesn't move super easy, but see, it does move. And there are different purposes. First of all, cleaning. I like to keep everything clean, so I'm moving things all the time. Second of all, when I do photo shoots down here, I can move my plant island. Just roll up this carpet and I can move my plant island anywhere I want to. So I can put my guests inside of a hammock right over the top of the plant island. So this on wheels, that was actually the very initial reason I wanted it on wheels. And then a bunch of these pots are individuals. They're all on plant dollies and easy to move. So I also have to move these things depending on the time of year because sometimes they get too much sun by the window. So everything here is modular. Thank you, sweetie. Also, there are plants inside of all of the enclosures. So we can talk about the plants one day on a Thursday and what does well in this environment. Why did I choose these types of plants? Because these plants are chosen not just for how well they live in here, but also for toxicity levels and different things like that. So we'll be talking about all of that on one of our room tour days, as well as very important things like how the heck do you keep gnats out of a room like this filled with wet soil and plants? You're never going to believe it. After spending so much money and experimenting with so many different things, I just found out. Doing one thing for my plants made the gnats go away unexpectedly. So that's going to be super exciting to share. The plants that are inside of the enclosures can get switched out sometimes. They'll come out here and maybe do a little better. Which brings me to the technology in this room. You guys may be able to tell right now, normally we would have all of these lights set on what we consider photo mode. Because when they're on photo mode, they're just using a very low percentage of soft white and cool white and no red and blue. But right now, for the animals, they're set on 60% red, 60% blue, and then just like a little 6 to 10% for the soft white, cool white, and regular white. And there's a reason for that. So when we talk about technology one day, I'll explain to you that I didn't always have these settings on my fluval lights that are in here, but I learned that that's what is necessary for the animals and still gives the plants enough of what they need to thrive. And also, when we talk about technology in this room, we'll be talking not only about the lights. You want to bring them over here and show them? We get this door open, it's so loud. In every one of these enclosures, we have lights, automatic fans, heat panels, misting systems, as well as every one of these is a full rain chamber. Did I miss any technology? No, that's everything. So, and everything's automatic up above here inside of this cabinet. When we do our technology day, I'll be taking that door off that cabinet and showing you guys what's inside there, which will blow you away. It's full of all kinds of technology and not just wiring, but plumbing. There's also plumbing up there, as well as down underneath this cabinet is full of plumbing. So the day that we come in here and talk about our technology, we'll talk about all of the automatic systems and the stuff that's up top. And then we'll also talk about another day, these enclosures all together. what kind of enclosures did we have before, and we are still using right now. I am going to take you guys into the other room and show you our brand new babies. So this will be, we did show them off live the other day when we very first got them, and our film had a bad orientation, which I hope this one is fine. We haven't even checked it. But I imagine if it wasn't, you guys would have already mentioned it. So we'll talk about technology. These enclosures, I mean, everything down from finding the right doors that slide, all of the right mechanisms for the size that we needed was not easy. We spent way too much money experimenting with things, different doors and mechanisms, all different kinds of materials. But fortunately, we have been able to use everything that we didn't use in here that we purchased, because we have just, well, done what every reptile keeper does. We just kept adding more reptiles. So we've been able to just keep using the different things that we previously built. Larry is gonna have to stop buying reptiles, sweetie. You're gonna have to control yourself, okay?
Sorry, love.
It's bad, you always see that stuff, those memes, like, I have to ask my wife, or I have to ask my husband. And in this case, and I'm sure many cases out there, we are equally drawn to having more reptiles, especially when it comes to rescuing, which we're gonna go upstairs and look at. All right, so then we are definitely going to be having a good Thursday room tour about our vines. Guys, if you've heard me on the podcast, there's always that one thing they ask you at the end. What do you want to make sure everybody takes away from this? And mine is always about providing vine systems for these animals. Because when we find them in the wild, we are looking for vine systems, not just trees. So you guys can see all of these vines on the ceiling here. Can you back up and really show them? All of these vines. We go down to the river and we save the trees by cutting down the vines that are I keep wanting to say snuggling, suffocating the trees. So these vines all needed to come off the trees, and we brought them home, power washed them, shellacked them, and hung them up here. And I'll be giving you all the details about how these vines were brought in here. And you guys can see there are some really good vine systems here. As well as the vine systems, actually we can show the vine systems off here in Isis's house. I don't think we've shown hers yet. You guys, Isis, you guys got to see her the other night on the live stream, but you can have a look at her right now. She is doing fabulous. She has eaten twice and shed since she had her babies. And, she's moving around at night. She's been in the rain chamber. She seems to be doing really well. So let's just look at this whole system right here. This is a soaker hose vine system, and Isis is connected to some of the natural wood that's been shellacked. And she's just got all kinds of stuff in here. These green wire, this green wire that you see was put here as part of the nursery for when the babies were born for them to hold on to. But Isis uses it. She seems to enjoy it, so I'm just leaving it in there. The more enrichment, the better. So we'll be talking about how to make these soaker hose vine systems. It's super easy and relatively inexpensive, especially compared to the reptile vines that you buy that you can only get short pieces for. And you can literally make these as long as you want to. Well, up to 100 feet, because you can get 100 foot of soaker hose and 100 foot of wire. And most of mine are 25 feet, and then I twist it all together. So this whole entire soaker hose piece right here can just be unattached in just a few places and then lift it out of here. That one's big, so it takes 2 people, but it can be. We don't really use our removable vines too much. We did when Isis was pregnant. The 2 times that she went into the rain chamber. But these animals come out really, really easily. So we usually just take them out. And we only mess with them and take them out when they're awake at night, unless of course we have an ambassador day. So here you guys can see more silver hose vine. This one has this black piece added to it. I just added for a little extra. This has our old reptile vines before we started our soaker hose vines. We were taking these reptile vines, stripping the wire out of them and rethreading them with copper wire, with a 6-gauge copper wire. So we decided to quit using these and we moved to soaker hose vines because these ripped easily, but that's for the vine day when we're going to actually talk about the vines in depth. And when we do vine day, I'll actually make one of these and show you guys how to make it. And we'll just do a black one, but I'll show you the paint. Sorry, I know that's loud. All right, another cool thing about my vine systems, this is one of my favorite things about my vine systems. Because we've done so much stuff with water bowls, we have, actually, I just want to take you back over to Isis real quick. Back over here. Because I want to show you, this is an old model of our water bowls. Can you show them that water bowl over there? Where Larry got some help from a friend who does, computer design stuff for 3D printing, and got that design, and then Larry printed it out on a 3D printer that he got. So that's how we made all of our arboreal water bowls in the past, and we'll be able to show you a different design of the same thing when I show you our new babies. But look now how I do it. This is a water bowl holder, and it's just embedded right into my soaker hose vine system. So I can actually hang them wherever I want to. And you can maybe see down here if there's another one. So I can just put water bowls anywhere I want to. You guys did see Jormungandr up there. Jormungandr does appear to be ovulating. So some of you were here on the live stream the other night when I saw that for the first time as soon as we got back from Tinley and then Dallas. So she seems to be doing well. We have just been leaving her there. She is definitely not herself. There's an Ingishsida. And let's move across the animals kind of quickly. And Zoltus. Guys, I could spend a whole hour talking about each one of these animals. So the day we do animal introductions, here we have Asmois. I have a lot of stuff to tell you about these animals, how we got them all, all right, Cassius Clay over here, how we got them all the wrong genders. Not all of them, but half of these animals came to us with the wrong gender assigned to them. So we'll tell you guys about where we got them and how we figured out they were incorrectly sexed and where their names came from. So the days when we talk about these animals, I have tons and tons of details to tell you about. Another thing we have in here is a lot of cameras, lights, all of that stuff for our videos and things. And then we have a freezer for our rats. Also, when we talk about technology, enclosures, and plumbing, can you show them all of this over here? So this is our water system. We use photo developing equipment to keep the water temperature regulated, usually at about 92 to 95 degrees here, which will make it about 2 to 3 degrees cooler when it comes out for the animals, especially in the other room, which I'm about to show you. I do think that's pretty much everything in here. Oh, and of course my hammock. You guys, on our Tuesday night lives, when we're looking at this room infrared, those are the nights that sometimes I will be sleeping in my hammock in here with the animals, and you guys can stay in here with me. As well as those are the nights, those Thursday night lives are going to be when we do all of our rain chambers and feeding. We're gonna try to do as much as we can on Monday nights so that you guys can have something fun to watch. All right, I think I covered everything in here. Let's keep moving. Larry, sweetie, is doing such a great job here. Thank you. All right, you guys, so, whoops. These are our new babies. These guys do not have the nice fluval lights. They don't have plants yet, but they will. You are right now looking at Mama Wada. Mama Wada is an 8-year-old basin emerald tree boa. She has stunted growth. She's very, very small for her age. And then this is Rico Suave. And he is our third animal from Steve Volk's black line. Steve Volk working to recreate genes that he has in his emeralds that are black instead of green, or have a lot of black in them. So that's Rico Suave. He's 9 years old. So these two are both very small, and they've come to us with kinked tails, which I don't think you can see right now. So, you know, yes, we paid for them, but we didn't know until we got them that they're basically rescues. I don't know how long these guys would have kept up in their situation that they were in. So and the fella who got rid of them had to move them like 4 times from Florida to Colorado and back and forth over the last year and a half or so. And then the weather finally did out his house in Florida, and he decided that he was not going to be able to keep up the care on these animals, and so he was letting them go. So we have an 8-year-old female and a 9-year-old male, both underdeveloped and both with kinked tails. And the reason for the kinked tails is said to be too large of purchase. So a lot of people think these animals, a lot of people put them on like 1 inch or even larger PVC pipe. So the animal never has any kind of grip, and the diameter is too big for their tails to wrap around. Or people will put them on, which is really common, like a curtain rod, and those are pretty big. So we try to provide vine systems, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 inch across, with all different shapes and sizes for them to rest on. And here are our new babies. And we're just going, Mama Wada did eat last night, Mommy Wada. And Rico Suave has not eaten, but we're just gonna keep trying. And we are giving them very tempting, delicious morsels. So hopefully they will continue eating. And I gave Mommy Wada just a small morsel, smaller than what she could eat for sure. So we'll just try to keep giving them more. This is our rain chamber. So you guys saw the photo developing equipment and filters in the other room. This hose goes all the way to the other room. And like I said, if we have the water temperature in there at like 95, then it would be coming out of here at like 92. So that's about as hot as it ever gets in there, but usually stays at about 93, 92, 93 degrees. So it's about 90 coming out of here. This has a full rain system. Just come and show them the inside of this. This is a design by Steve Volk. And I'm not sure did Tom's company build this? And what are they called?
Habitat system.
Habitat Systems. And we put this wallpaper stuff on it, but the whole thing is really well put together. We drain it right into these buckets when it drains out and just dump them outside. So it's really easy. And if we have to keep animals in here for a long time, which we do on rain chamber night, then we use this big bucket, and we have this water pump that we put in the bucket and use the hose to water plants with. So that, this whole system is fabulous, you guys. And Larry always says the healing powers of this rain chamber. So we have these two guys, Mommy Wada and Rico Suave, in quarantine right now, which is really tricky because they're in here, but we're going to have to use the rain chamber. And I did put them in the rain chamber the other day, or the day we got them, day before yesterday. And since then I have sprayed this whole enclosure with 2 different types of cleaning bleach spray and rinsed it. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to work through all this quarantine. We may have to move these animals upstairs. We'll have to talk about it a little more before Monday night. All right, so let's go ahead and go upstairs. I think that was everything up there. I'll go ahead you. So we are going to go upstairs now, and then I'm going to show you guys Ziggy, hallway on.
The hallway isn't responding.
It has to be.
Check if the manual
There we go.
turned on. The device has power and is online.
All right, so you guys can see this is our hallway, and you see that mirror that I don't know how they installed it. They did it though. It took them quite a while to figure out how to get that over there, and that was really interesting. But you guys are gonna have to help me. I would love one day to turn this entire hallway into some type of enclosure. So we'll have to work on that together. Wouldn't that be amazing? I don't know, chameleons or who knows what could go in here. Something really cool in arboreal. All right, so we can come on in here to the living room. And this is where we have a lot of animals living. Let me take the camera from here and I will show you guys. So first of all, you can see that this whole living room is an arboreal gym for us, as well as the animals. And I just spotted Jaja, and seriously, you guys, this lizard is the cutest thing ever in the world. Zaza, you're just sitting in your plants, Zaza. You look so cute. Do you see all your friends out there? She's really looking at you guys, isn't she? You're such a good girl. You are. So she's just soaking up some sun in her plant there. And Jaja lives in this whole structure in our living room window. She has heat panel up at the top. We did have to turn that heat lamp off because she was sitting on it too much for no reason. Because we had it regulated not to be too warm, but she still just kept sitting on it and knocking it. So that's turned off, but she still likes to sit on that rock, but she loves to sit in the sun. And then you guys can see Pasithea. Oops. I can't really see, it's so bright. And Pasithea is, oh, and I should have said Jaja is about 2.5 years old. And then the tortoises are almost about the same age, maybe a little bit older. So he's just sitting in his dirt. Once in a while, I do go get grass and I turn this all into green grass, but they kill it in no time flat. And then Tiny Tim is going to be somewhere in here. And when we do, oh, there he is. Look at him sitting there in the sun. And Tiny Tim and Pasithea are the same this So when we do a room tour to talk about habitats upstairs, we'll talk about all of this whole structure is filled with caves and digging spots and places they cannot get through. And why would I do all that? So we'll talk about Jaja's habitat and her window and the tortoise's habitats. And Tiny Tim actually does have his own habitat, but he actually has not been staying over here. The two of them are doing so good together, and the problem you can see is the sun. It's not fair for Pasithea to have all that sun. Tiny Tim loves to sit in the sun. And then we not only have these guys, but we also have these guys. And this is Serapi. She is our super duper social king snake. And she always comes out to say hello when we open her door. She had a little bit too much to eat this week, but she's still very active and alert. Serapi does roam free in this living room, just like everybody else, during certain times. And sometimes I forget about her. In one such case, oh, sorry, Serapi. She was gone for 5 months, but she came back. So now she's not allowed to come out unless Larry's watching her. And we do have a Pueblan milk snake in here. Oh, you guys can just kind of see him. You can't see his red though. He's got really pretty colors. He doesn't like to come out. But anyway, he lives in there and he has a full tunnel system down under there. Where'd you go, Jaja? Pasithea's going into his tunnel. And then oh, there she is. She's like, wait, I need more attention. Did everybody get to see me, how cute I am? Yes, everybody knows you're the cutest and the sweetest. So she actually came out to get some love from us. She didn't like just being shown off a little bit. She wants to be shown off a lot. You guys, she's so cute. Look at that face and that color. And, I mean, she is super sweet. So we'll talk about our other animals. And that's what I was going to say. On Tuesday mornings, here, love, you can take this back. On Tuesday mornings, we are playing these guys live from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., you guys get to watch these guys wake up because they don't even come out of bed until the sun is almost coming through this window. So 9 a.m. is about when they barely wake up, and then they start moving around, even sometimes not even till 10 or after 10. So you guys will get to watch them all the way from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. just waking up. And it's really neat to watch them move in their different places. Watch the tortoises wake up and come out. Everybody's foraging for food. And then from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., I'll come on. The 9 p.m. to 1 p.m. is just no audio, just watching. And then 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I'll come on and we'll chat and I'll feed the animals. It is so cute to watch them eat. Jaja, come here, Jaja. Come here. Zaza will come all the way down that thing when I sit on the floor right there with food. So she is just the tamest, sweetest little thing you ever saw, aren't you? So, and then of course we'll feed the tortoises. And you know, I am going to feed the downstairs animals their frozen, defrosted, heated meals on our Monday night live feeds. So, you know, I'll be giving you guys plenty of warning before I do that, but you know, just remember that's just frozen meat, just like we eat. So I think most of you are probably fine with reptiles eating their meat dinners. So when the nights we put them in the rain chamber and stuff, we'll be feeding them as well. Well,
DW says, what about Hansel?
oh my gosh. You guys are not even going to believe what has happened over here. All right, so, oh, and not only Hansel, but on our way to Hansel, let me show you guys someone else that we have here you've never seen. And this is Draca. And my girlfriend, Allison, here we can open Draca's. Okay. my girlfriend Allison is recreating his space. And so she is staying here with us while Allison takes care of that. So we have him for a little while. And that is Draca. And Draca has one of our full setups. Like I said, the old equipment that in the enclosures that Larry built here with our soaker hose vine. He's got a fluval, he or she. Allison did get Draca as a he, and his name is Draco. But since we just can't imagine that he's a he because he's so big relative to our males. And basins are actually a little bit bigger than northerns. This is a northern emerald tree boa, like the kind I find usually in the wild. When I go to Suriname, we find this kind, the northerns. And he's just as sweet as he can be. But he has the whole system here. Oh, and something I forgot to point out when we were downstairs is the water bowls. So you guys can see these water bowls. These are also ones that Larry printed out. So, and Draca did have a nice meal last night too. So he's doing great. All right, now over here, this whole area is a disaster. But, do I have a light in here? So you guys can see now we have more than just Hansel. So Hansel is in here. These guys are nocturnal, so they sleep during the day, but here's one here.
That's Hansel.
That's Hansel. Hansel's much bigger than the others. There is another one in here.
Probably in the hay.
Hopefully.
Was earlier.
Oh, yep, looky there. Looky there. So there we have two. That one's name is Dora the Explorer, named last night by Aria. She was over here. You guys can see a lot of videos of Aria. She's been handling our emeralds since she was 4, and now she's about to be 8. So she's been handling our emeralds for quite a while, since she was just a little thing. And then we also have 2 in here. So
Wasn't there yet, right there.
These guys, oh, are they both right there? Yep, there they are, 2 of them. And ow! That did not hurt me. It just scared me, but he did. That was the first bite that I know of. Please excuse my scream. It did not hurt. It just scared me. So this male is really feisty and he can't be held, but all the other 3 can. So that was clearly the male that I just encountered. And there is no mark on my finger, although his teeth touched me. I'm jumpy. It doesn't matter what it is. I scream like that. Another thing, so we're going back over here?
Yeah, just get out of that area.
Okay. Another thing that I would eventually like to talk about too is this house is filled with all of my favorite things. So we have not only all of this aerial equipment, but also the art that's in here. And can you bring it over here? You guys saw the Michelle Maddox emerald pieces that were downstairs. And this is a Michelle Maddox Gaboon Viper. So we have 3 really nice pieces from Michelle Maddox. And all of these little reptile things I just like to collect when we go different places. You guys, my Medusa costume over here that I wore to Tinley this weekend. I had this in the closet after I first made it, and every time I looked at it in the closet, I just felt like, you know, I loved seeing it. So I decided to just get a mannequin and put her right out here in the living room, and it turns out she's an excellent piece. Can you please show that lizard? She is so cute. There's nobody cuter than Zaza. No, she's the cutest little thing. Yeah. She's just like a dog. So yes, I'm excited to show you guys my art and the animals and all of the different things. So for now, you guys can, if there was anything particular that you really enjoyed that you want to see, I'm just going to start making a list and creating thumbnails and scheduling these room tours about what I'm going to talk about each week. So if there's anything that I didn't mention that you guys can think of or anything that you really want to see first, let me know. So I am going to see messages here. I'm really excited that you guys are here. Let's see. I'm really excited that you guys are here. Dana, Lady Z, the rodents are both. The hamsters, all of these adults, we're hoping will breed and make babies. And the reason, but we will definitely get rid of any of them that we can to people who want them as pets. The reason we want these particular dwarf hamsters for babies is because when we have baby snakes, the dwarf hamsters have a high heat index and it can tempt the babies to eat maybe sooner or just easier. So we are actually doing the babies because that's what some other breeders do. And we are gonna just try to have babies available if and when we have another litter of fresh babies. Yes, the Gaboon Viper is awesome. I'm really looking forward to showing off the art that we have. Our little Zaza. Yes, you guys, and the vines. And Erica, thank you about my daughter's art. I can't wait to actually talk about the pieces. You are going to be very surprised. They're digital art, and like on a computer, you can zoom in, and the whole inside of those pictures that my kid did is filled with little tiny miniature pictures. And it all tells a story. What are we looking at?
Stand there.
Okay. And the vines. Did you guys see the vines in Serapi's house? These animals, including Jaja, use those soaker hose vines. So the vines are amazing in so many different ways. All of the animals, Serapi, Jaja, and the emeralds, all scrape their faces on that soaker hose. They love the feeling of it. So, yes. Erica, are you talking about the name Rico Suave when you say you're glad Larry liked the name? Oh, yes, there it is. Yes, Rico Suave. That worked out perfect. And it's actually pronounced Rico Suave, but then, and that's a wrestler, which is good because we already have Cassius Clay, and Cassius Clay is named after a boxer. And then, but then there's the song Rico Suave, the Gigolo. So we're just going to go with the pronunciation Rico Suave because suave is more fun to say than suave for me and for Larry. So we went with that. Well, you guys, I really appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for continuing to put up with our technology, hurdles. And we're just going to keep working on it and keep improving. And I really appreciate you guys being here. And I can't wait for each Thursday to get to show you the details of all of this stuff. So before I go, I am just going to say goodbye upside down. So you can end it while I'm upside down, okay? I'm going to tuck my shirt in.
Hit the X.
Yes. I have to tuck my shirt in so I don't come out completely. But the reason for this equipment is not just to show off, but it's actually really, really good for the spine. to just relax your spine, decompress it, and the neck too. So if you guys ever want to do some living room gymnastics, we could do that too. Bye, everybody.